Hey everyone, it's Tony for emodels.co.uk. Don't worry, you've not missed anything. I just had a quick build off camera between filming the end of episode 2 and filming the beginning of episode 3 of Tamiya's 1/12 scale Yamaha YZR-M1 I did well then, I've not actually got that written down inside of me. I've just spent 10 minutes putting this together really loosely. I mean, as you can see, if I pick it up, this bit's going to fall off. Nothing's actually glued down. But it gives me an idea now of where to paint and things like that. So, in this episode, you'll see the majority of this being prepared and created and put together. Now, I'm just going to leave this as modular as I can. And as you can see, it breaks apart really easily. Just let me pull away from the logo. Sorry guys. Yeah, I've not got that panel on the opposite side so I can get all the engine detail. I'm actually planning, when I'm displaying this statically, I'm actually taking all these parts off and having them displayed separately. As you can see, it breaks apart really easily. It's fantastic. It really is fantastic. You can take these little screws out, he says. Come on. Take the front scoop off and display it as a spare chassis as well, like so. It's gorgeous. Right, I'm going to stop faffing. Go and watch episode 3. Go that way. Go that way. My word, this is incredibly tricky. I've just had a quick practice build, dry fit with this lot. My God, you need about 7 pairs of hands. It's incredibly fiddly, it really is. So, hopefully I'm not going to get any fingerprints into this. You stay put. Wish me luck. Nope, that didn't take. Oh dear. It's in there somewhere. There we go. That's holding. That is ridiculously fiddly. Okay, there's another one. Ready. Let's see what that's done. Ooh, that was a faff. Hopefully that lined up. Yep, that was okay. Before all that sets properly, we need to add a piece in there that way around. Again, extremely fiddly. And if I was to do this again, I would probably have secured that in one end first. Man, that's a snug fit. That is so snug that it probably don't even need any glue. Yeah, I'll throw some in anyway, just to make sure. So that's that way around. And then we need the smallest polycap in the world. And the super stubby, sharpy pointy tweezings. To pop that in. Get off, he says. cowling in there, and that holds the polycap in place. Like so. Ooh, lovely. And then right at the front there, there's a couple of little locating tabs, so we'll dot some glue in there, just to hold that, and it'll zip off down the rest of the cowling line with capillary action. Seriously, look it up, capillary reaction. I can't explain it myself, like I say. I know how it works, but I just can't explain it. It's fantastic. It goes zoop, straight down the seam. And that goes in there. Yeah, I can't resist. You'll see the bike taking shape. Yay! Fantastic. So to the fun part, building the suspension. This is what I'm really looking forward to. Now, the front forks don't actually have suspension springs in them. I have built other kits in slightly larger scales where the suspension spring is involved. No, you're not it. I'm not too sure where that is. I did one for my father-in-law a couple of years ago. It was a 1/9 scale, working suspension at the front. It was awesome. Well, this thing is a stationary suspension by the look of it, but you do get two options. Now, if you do decide to get the figure as well, apparently you get parts with the figure that you can adjust your suspension with, which will be these little brass things here, which I'm going to leave brass. I'm not going to paint that at all. I'm going to leave that as it is, just to replicate, you know, just keep the metallic shine. So we're actually going to be building the set without the rider. For some reason they've decided to call it L and S. Don't know. So we need to concentrate on everything that's L. So you get the main general build. That's for the actual suspension unit itself with the hydraulic cylinder and things like that. The spring stays the same as the one that's supplied with this kit, but the difference is these two heads of the extended suspension are slightly angled from each other. So we need to take care that we get the right parts to start with. So I need C32 and the standard C26 parts. So two of the tiniest polycaps in the world. Going to the suspension block itself. There we go. Let me touch that together. And ooh, there's bits of nubs that I've missed. Okay, so make sure they're all lined up again. There's no little tabs to help us line up. Drop by the side. Keep your things away from the glue. And squish. And you're picking the ground up again, aren't you, instead of the piece I'm working on. Oh, this camera. The perils of filming a build. It's magic. It's good fun. You should try this. Film your builds. We need to get more builds out there. And then the metallic shafts that are supplied with the kit. I actually dry fitted that a moment ago without you. You basically push through the collar like so. Give it a pull. Just make sure it's all the way home, and then another dot of glue over the top. Just hold all that still. You squeeze. Be careful with the end tabs as well, that you don't pop them off when you apply your pressure. It'll dry fitted perfectly a minute ago, and now it won't. Ah, live filming. Yep. Okay. So the glue's had about 10 minutes to dry now, so it should be ready. He says dropping the spring. So it's literally, you take the rear section, add the spring, add the front section, and that's that. Easy as cake. Simple as pie. I don't know. It works in my head. So when we come around to painting that, the spring has to be in yellow, I think it was. X8, there, that's yellow. So spring's in yellow, that'll be fun. Stand it up, or it's going to go pinging off everywhere again. We can mask the aluminium pin that they've given us, or if you're across the pond, aluminum. We can add that, mask that, and keep that as it is, and then just detail paint these things. Stay away from the metal sling, Tony. There we go. There we go. It's not focusing on you anymore. Yeah. And we can detail paint these separately. So, more sub-assemblies. Right, we'll put the spring nice and safe back in the little plastic bag. And I'll just build one half of the front fork for you. Stay. Which is literally a front caliper. And it's worth labelling these up as well once you've done. The front caliper holder thing. And be careful as well, because that's really flimsy. You can probably see there's quite a bit of bend in there, so do be careful when you handle it. So very carefully, we had 2 polycaps. This is the part I'm really looking forward to building. We slide the brush tube over, and then the suspension arm. Like I say, in 1/9 scale kits, that's usually the spring in there as well, so you can actually have moving suspension, which is quite cool. So that's the right hand side, so a little bit of masking tape just held off, we can call that right. And when we come to paint it, literally just slide that off. We know that's covered now by the brass, so we can attach a crocodile clip there to hold it, spray everything. Again, once we get around to the painting stage, I'll cover that properly. So that's right hand side. I'll build the left hand side off camera, and then we'll come back and do the swing arm. So swing arm. So the swing arm is a surprisingly simple affair. I thought it was going to be like this massive, great big, detailed, complex thing, and it's not. It's literally just 2 lumps of plastic thrown together. It's quite disappointing in that. Never mind. You see that show where they build the bikes? I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to say it. It's the one where the county's orange and they build bikes. You look at their swing arms, it's like the great big complicated things that last for about 4 episodes. This thing is literally 2 lumps of plastic. There we go, that's it, that's done. Okay, so let me think that way around. So the suspension that we worked on earlier goes in there like so, and then attaches to the bike somehow. Spin that around, which will be that way. When all is said and done and everything goes in there like that. So again, we can see the bike starting to build up now, but we'll keep that separate. Ooh. Alrighty, so the cog we're going to do separately later when we get to the paint stage, because that's literally, where are we? Where do you go? Where'd you go? I saw you before. There he is. Here he is. So it's literally just that, so we need to be very careful with that anyway when we take that from the frame, because that is horribly thin. It really is. I'm terrified of snapping that, to be honest. No, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. It'll be fine. So we'll leave that till later, and then we'll add that in the final assembly anyway, and we'll cover that when we paint it. Ooh. let's build the back wheel. Okay, so the back wheel is literally a simple affair of hub, brake disc and tyre. Ridiculously easy. And one trick that I used to do on the car builds is you get a box standard brake disc like so. Stop picking the background up. There we go. Box standard brake disc like so, which is immaculately detailed, don't get me wrong, but we need to add a little bit of realism. So with the course stick, just shows that it's been worn, it's been used. Just very gently go around the disc itself, just with the course edge and some grooves. Now the primer will fill most of that back in, but just add that little bit of detail in the final paint job. So it's just a little bit of realism. It's not much, but it's just enough to catch the eye when we're done. So I'm not actually going to glue that in just yet. I'll paint that separately, then attach it. Again, we'll cover that when we get to it. Then we pop the wheel in. There's probably an easy way of doing this. I've got that completely wrong. And do be careful with the inflator pin. You just push it in like so, it says. Yeah, there we go. That's probably what that notch is for there. There we go, that notch. That's probably where you start and finish. There we go. Tyre. Beautiful. Beautiful. But again, we've got that massive great big seam line down the middle. I think I pointed that out in an earlier clip. We don't want that. Don't want that at all. So I'm just going to use a bigger version of the skinny stick. It's the exact same stuff, just bigger. If you get any fluff on like that, just wipe that on the back of your pants or something, or your seat. I'm just going to work at that seam. Don't be shy, get in there. And again, what this will do is it'll give the impression that it's a super soft tyre. We're giving it some welly around the track. You can probably see there's loads of fluff coming off. I'll try and screw that together. There you go, loads of fluff. So it's just worth taking a few minutes to sort it out. That's miles better than it was. And then go in with the finer grit. Oh, that smells lovely, it does. It actually smells like burning rubber. Just give that a wipe on my t-shirt. There we go, seam gone. And if we really wanted to, just go over the smoother grit. and then go in with white polisher. Bear in mind though, if you use the white polisher this time around, it is rubber. You're not going to get the squeak that you get with bog standard kit plastic. There we go, done. And you compare that now with the old tyre. That one at the back looks far more hosey. Looks far more realistic. Just daft little tricks like that. Just liven your kit up. We like that, we do. So, just for demo's sake, caliper in, swing arm, elusive grippy screw goes through there, and then that attaches in there, like so. We can see a bike. The other peril of doing these videos as well is you press the record button thinking it's recording and it doesn't, and you miss the mud splatty protector thing going on. See, I know the anatomy of a bike. I'm okay. So that's what that's going to look like eventually. You just missed the entire 2-minute thing on that. Sorry about that. I hate this camera. I'm just scooting through and picking out big bits that I can build together in sub-assemblies ready for when we do the big paint. And I've come across at the front mudguard. So I remember what it's called this time. It's actually in 2 halves. Now I'm not too sure how well the camera's going to pick that up because it's horribly white and shiny. There's a massive great big sea line right down the middle of that, which I'm not happy about at all. Even though this will be painted blue in the end, yeah, we're still going to sort that out. So we're just going to line the 2 halves together to start with, he says. This worked perfectly a minute ago off camera. Oh. And again, avoiding putting any fingerprints anywhere near this. We're going to glue from the back edge where it won't be seen. I'm just going to hold the 2 halves together for a few seconds whilst it bites. Now, wherever possible, use the kit's own plastic as its filler, because there's no better filler than the kit's own plastic. And what I mean by that is, when we have these 2 halves together, like so, we give a squish, hopefully there's going to be a little bubble of melty plastic start appearing in this seam, which 90% of the time when I film this usually works, and hasn't done this time. Fantastic. So I'm going to run a seam across the top. See if I can get any squishy. This sore throat keeps running out and smacking me in the head and going, ha ha ha, you're filming a proper big build for the first time and I'm just going to make you sound like you're all silly and things like that. Well, I can manage that on my own, thank you, sore throat. I always sound silly when I talk. I always say silly things too. So we're going to give that a few minutes for the glue to cure. There we go. See, I don't need a sore throat to help me sound silly. Oh, I don't know. Now then, I don't think the squish worked. Normally you get like a little bubble of plastic come out, especially with these hot action weld glues, but it's not done it this time. Just to prove me a little bit silly. So, I'm just going to take some dark paint. In this case it's German grey from Tamiya. I'm just going to run it along that seam there. Ooh, fireworks. Leave that to dry for a few minutes. What this is going to do is it's going to let me see whether or not I've smoothed the area over enough with the sanding stick. also demonstrate, hopefully, how that works. That's some noisily cleaning my brush off to the side. So, those of you familiar with the automotive paint industry, incredibly talented Mr. Fox will be jumping in at this point saying, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, I know what he's doing here." You can't remember the name of the technique right now. I'll flash it on the screen at the moment. Basically, they use this in repairing your paintwork on your car. If you've got a dink or a dent or anything like that that needs smoothing out, they'll overspray with a contrast colour. In this case I've got grey on white. And then let's go in with a smooth grip first, just to show you. It'll reveal a high spot and a low spot. It helps you figure out where you need to do some more work to get yourself sorted out. So we can see straight away, once I remove that top layer of paint, there's that massive great big seam right down the middle. So the theory is the glue should have filled most of that gap. So if we go back to the core stick now, very gently work at that. There's barely any pressure. This is all the stick doing the work. There's barely any pressure going on at all. And this is where the sponge is coming handy as well. You can actually see the sponge is taking most of the pressure of that, so we're not creating any flat spots. So we're just going to very gently work until most of that grey is gone. Give that a wipe on my t-shirt. Wipe the stick as well. Oops. Just fall back to the smooth grip. Get barely any pressure. Just taking that out. There's still a little ridge there, but everything else is now nice and smooth. So just go back to the coarse grit again. Just give that another little working. Know that I'm staying parallel all the time. So it's tiny, tiny, tiny little lip. It's not much. There you go, gone. So we can now come back in with the blue sanding sponge. This is an even finer grip. We're just going to basically go over again. You'll actually feel this blue side biting in when it's ready. Yeah, that little squeak, that one. absolutely smooth. Going with the white side. Just give everything a final polish. Whoops. There you go, that squeak means it's done. That is now perfectly smooth and there's no seam at all. Lovely. Happy with that now. Okey-doke. Right, so petrol tank again. Just getting the big sub assemblies out of the way. And we've got the front edge of the petrol tank here. Which is, again is, you know, one of these daft little parallel parts. And impossible to get together. You need about 17 pairs of hands. It's like herding cats, it really is. So again, making sure that fingers are out of the way. Put some glue there and then capillary action will take care of the rest. I should do at least anyway. There we go. Just focusing on the E-models again. Ooh, still a bit loose. Just come down there a sec. There we go, that's better. I got it. Just check on the top edge, make sure we're all lined up. Here we go. Just a tiny spot for that back edge. Just there. Now we can put that to one side to dry and do its thing. Like so. And then the fuel tank itself. Focus on me, not the background. Come on. There we go. This one's not too bad. It's all pegged for us, so we can just line everything up and off we go. A few more spots here and there, and jobs are good. Like so. There we go. Need to sort the petrol cap out as well. And we've got that piece that goes in here. He says. There we go. Try it that way round. Put dot there, dot there. Like so. Dot there as well. Lovely stuff. And that can go to one side to dry. Sorry, dot more there. Now we can go to dry. And the seat area, this piece here will actually be painted black to represent the seat itself. This will be the body kit colour itself, and it calls out, you see these two holes here at the back, if the camera focuses properly, there we go, those two holes there at the back. If you're building the Lorenzo bike, the 99 bike, drill those two holes out and there's a seat buffer. So if I remember rightly, Lorenzo's actually a little bit smaller than Rossi, so they gave him that little seat pack to stop him sliding off his bike when he's on the straight bits, or something like that. I could be wrong. That's my take of it. In the instructions, it's calling out for that piece to go on the back there, but it's telling you to do all kinds of paint and decal work to both pieces and then attach that afterwards. I don't see the point of that. Why can't you just add it now and do everything afterwards? I'll have to have a proper look at that. I'll get back to you on that one. What else is there? Yes, this piece. Here. And again, this is one of those fiddly. Ooh, I've got nubbage that I missed. Nubbage! So glue that into place. Again, you need 7 pairs of hands for this one. So get that to take, and then we'll saw the front end out. Ow. My wrist didn't like that then. That's what happens when you turn 40. I started out there when I was 25. Paint the edge there, and then where do you go? What nubbage? I thought I'd done that. Apparently not. And that goes there like so. Like so. I'll put that to dry. Sorry, I went all quiet on you then. I was concentrating. It does happen now and then. Alright, who's laughing? So, really quick and nasty. Oops. Quick and nasty play with this now. That touches onto there like so. That shows. Helps with a show that, doesn't it? Couple of little holes there that line up with these little pegs. So you can imagine all this is painted and decaled now, so it's completely modular. That'll attach into that hole there. This then slips down into the body here, like so. There's a screw that attaches into there. Ooh, you can actually see the building now. And the seat, if you remember, we put polycap in here that will be held in place by that. Then the seat attaches. Missed a couple of knobs there as well. And at the moment, I'm not too sure where that piece goes. That we've just made. Oh. Go around. Yeah, right, so that's its chin guard thing. So that'll attach to bodywork under here somewhere, I think. Yes, 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 yes. I get it now. I get it now. Do I get it? It's that way around. There we go. So that attaches up here somewhere like so. And this attaches underneath. That's it. Now I've got it. Now you've got all kinds of stuff at the front that I've not got to yet as well. Oh, beautiful. So we can actually see this building up now. We're getting there. We are getting there. My fault. I was getting all giddy, and what I didn't spot in the instructions when I put the engine, not the engine, the petrol tank together, is you've actually got the top end of the engine first, and then the petrol tank goes on over the top. That makes more sense. But now look, you've got an engine. I've got an engine in. It's not screwed in yet, it's still loose. Look, there's an engine. Yeah, we're getting there. So if I drop a swing arm in here somewhere. Yeah. And then we get the forks here. So look, we're getting there. We're getting there slowly. And that's the best part of it being modular. You can take it all apart, ready. Oh, we're getting close. And so that's where filming one of these builds becomes a bit fiddly and tricky and stuff like that, because I've built the bike but used that as the intro, and now I'm doing this bit, which is actually supposed to be straight after the build that you've just seen. I know, it gets all wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey and all that kind of stuff. So, all the main sub-assemblies, get off, are done, as you can see, and we're ready for paint. Now, I've still got a couple of greebly things. Oh, there's the engine. Hello, there's the engine. Right. So, if I just push all that out of the way in a second. So, I've still got greebly stuff like shift use, you're not interfering with the focus. Knocking stuff off the table. We've still got the big stand for the back to sort out, and these are the spare parts for if we have a rider for the adjustable back suspension. What else have we got? These are the front brake calipers, so I'm going to build them separately off camera. It's literally just two lumps of plastic, put them together. It's pretty straightforward. So I'll spare you that agony. But then we've got, if you remember from the first video, I think it was, I said ancillary parts like that will be painted separately before we put onto the engine. So it's just taking care of daft little bits like that now, taking them off the screws and doing our thing. It's alright, just bear with me a second, I'm finding things, there we go. What I'm going to do as well with the front brakes, the front brake discs, you get two either side. Try that again, you get one either side, so you've got two altogether. But these parts are actually painted separate colours. So that's the idea now, we're going to paint that. I think it's gold, and then that one's like a metallic grey. And then bob them together afterwards, which is, oops, like so. So you'll have the two colours shining through, hopefully. So we'll deal with that when we get to it. But that's basically it. Everything's done now, and then the flimsiest bit of plastic in the world in this piece here. I'm dreading that part. I've got a horrible feeling that's going to go wrong. I know what I'm like. Like I said, I've been doing this for 25 years and I'm still breaking things. So we'll cover this bit in the beginning of episode 4, I think this will be. This is episode 3. So yeah, episode 4 when we get to the paint. And I'll go through the process of how I'll take care of all this. So I'm going to go film that now. What are you doing? Go away. Don't want you. Not you guys, that pin. I don't know where that pin's come from. So, what was I saying? Yeah, I'll go away and prepare all this and then film it as I'm going, and then that'll be episode 4. And then we'll get some primer on and take it from there. As always, thank you so much for stopping by. I've been Tony on behalf of emodels.co.uk. Go and visit them. If they haven't got it, you don't need it. Unless it's a couple of paints that are unavailable at the moment, because there's a global shortage of Starship filth. But that's for another time. And I'll see you in episode 4. Take care, guys.